Hello there. I'm Grampy Jag, and I will be your host this evening. For those of you who may not know, we are revisiting the old DCraft World Tour. And in this particular episode, it does require a little bit of explanation. We actually went to space, but we did it back several years ago, back when I was much younger and not nearly as much of a stud muffin as I am now. Hi ladies. Anyhow, I don't know if that'll make the cut or not, but there it is. Anyhow, we did this originally back when DCraft-Omicron was still in beta. So you're going to hear some references to being in beta. Some things are a little out of date. I want to let you know we are in release, and you can play along. We are going to have a new series starting up, and you can play along in your own DCraft world. And you can do amazing things like this space station I'm working on. You may see some things down there. You may see some things out there. And I was kind of mapping how far I could push things. So I got the up and the down. I do not have the left and right or X and Y yet, but whatever. I do have the Z printed out. So unfortunately, you are restricted in how much area your space station /ship can occupy. And that's something we'll go and discuss in future episodes, I'm sure. But to let you know, this is actually the last episode of the original upload of the tour that you're about to watch. There is much more footage, and I will probably get around to adding that to this. But for now, realize DCraft-Omicron is available in release on CurseForge. Go ahead and download it. It takes about 8-10 gig if you want to run it nice. It will run on Mac or PC. It will not run on console. Sorry, people. You got to have Java. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. And hopefully the sound will mesh up nice when I get done with the editing here. Oh, and if you thought my intros were a tad rough now, just wait. You're in for a treat. Ooh-wee. DCraft-Omicron. No. Not your mama's Minecraft. The Space Tour. Welcome back to another episode. And again, do the like thing, do the ringer thing, do all that YouTube stuff. Most importantly, tell your friends, download the beta version of DCraft-Omicron and play it. Let us know what you think of it. All right, this is a very, very early build of DCraft, back when I had a whole lot more stuff involved with it, and it was extremely glitchy, so bear with me if it kind of seizes up from time to time. This is my build base that I use to build my spacecraft. A nice center mark, and then everything is marked out, so it's very easy for me to go and measure my ship out when I was building it. You may notice we have some of the rock hounding rocks, like we've been talking about, and more rock hounding rocks, and still more rock hounding rocks. And these are the old carpenter's blocks, which have since been replaced with block craftery. These are what allow you to put these textures onto different shapes. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. But first, we're going to take a quick overview of my base and this little build zone, this build base. You'll notice from the mini map, my base down there is shaped more or less like a paddle boat. We do have the paddle generators make power. We also have windmills that are doing a great job. This was all early construction. We do have our nuclear power plant. And like I say, a lot of this is very advanced and very different from what we have now. I have almost none of the of this tech in the new system. And we had tinkers in here. That's gone. And this was my little building where I was doing the rock hounding stuff, which has changed immensely. And all these different types of rocks. And then over here, let's see. Do I have any to show? Yeah, this is where we had like the gem shards and such. This is no longer in the pack. Loved these things. You could cut these. You could turn them into jewelry. It was great. Lots of other stuff up here. Leftover garbage. So let's head back up. And as you can see, this was constructed out of one of those floating islands that you get in Tinkers. I reshaped it, reformed it, put in a lot of lighting, and these blinky lights show really nice at nighttime. Little power antenna down below with, again, I put lighting in there so it would look cool at night from the base. Go up here, we have little decorative structures, scaffolding, makes it look like we're actually building something. And now we're going to take a quick jump up to the platform by the ship. This was in warp drive, so things are a tad different than they are now. Warp drive didn't turn out to be terribly friendly, and it wasn't terribly interesting. I mean, there's derelict ships out there and such, and asteroids you can mine, but that's about it. There's no planets or anything else like that. So down here, this is our ship. And you can see it is bristling with weaponry. Those are the big guns. Have some other rail guns back here. You really don't want to get hit by these things. I want you to notice the smooth textures. This is because of those wooden blocks that have the overlay of the stone. So I took the Dudamorite and I applied it to one of those wooden wedge blocks, and that's what gives me the color and the pattern and the ability to make this look a lot smoother than you could if it was just straight Minecraft. It'd be very blocky, very edgy. It also gives a lot of nice color, so you can give it. Look at that shot. That's a cool shot. Let's go take a look at the insides. Again, this is going to be a whole lot different now that we are using advanced rocketry, but it gives you an idea of the possibilities. And I did at one point have little pocket dimension storage devices in here, and yeah, when the ship moved, they didn't. So, wasn't a really good idea. A couple of different rooms in the ship to do different things with. This is our where we produce our oxygen. You can see the oxygen flowing from the leaves into the collector. And this was the very complex movement system. You actually had to have ComputerCraft installed to run the computers. The ship core would let you move, and you can only move within certain parameters, and it was basically an instantaneous jump. There was no smooth movement with this system. I do have an emergency escape, which I did have to use once. This is in case your ship breaks and you're stuck away from your home base. It gets you back, but getting out to the ship again, finding it was a bear, let me tell you, to go and fix it. And this takes us back home. So, ooh, sun setting. Let's go down and take a look at if this is the one that goes down. We'll see. Yes, so here we are down in the base. And Unfortunately, we got a fair amount of cloud cover. Yeah, I guess we'll have to go up a bit. When the clouds aren't there, this is quite spectacular. There you can see all the lights and such going on. So that ends this part of the video. We'll jump into another world, and you can take a look at another example of spacecraft. It's the intermission. Good time to go and hit that like, ring the bell, subscribe to the video, tell your friends, download the mod pack, give it a try. Remember, it's in beta. Leave us a comment. Thanks. I'll tell you what, the fact that the spaceship disappeared, that's why we're here. Actually, that's partially true. We had a bad take. I stepped off my space station and it disappeared. So we're about to walk into the glowy beam of light and see, is it still there? Wait for it. Wait for it. It's here. All right. To start with this section of the video, we are up in space. See out the window, we can see the overworld down below. This is my space station, the one that is featured as the thumbnail for the DCraft download. That said, I had a little bit of an issue because this is a little bit of a glitchy pack. This is Space Miners, by the way. Tends to be just a tad glitchy yet. I stepped off of the space station and it disappeared. That was quite the fun time. So let's see what happens this time. There we go. We're through the airlock. Part 1, Part 2 coming up. There we go. And again, we'll look at our rocket. This is how we get down to the overworld if we have to actually fly instead of using a charged porter or a porter of some sort. So let's see what happens when we go up in the air. Woo! And there it is. It is still here. Hallelujah. And these jetpacks are not as nice as some of the jetpacks out there. You do have gravity effects regardless. But this is what we built. This is predominantly things like iron and tin and silver, oh my. Yeah, you really go up fast. And you tend to go down fast as well, so you got to be very careful. We have numerous levels. A lot of these have no use at the moment. Let's see if we can get over here and dock. Oof. There we go. What is that? Don't know why that there. That must be a marker I was using while building. But as you see, it goes up kind of like a skyscraper, and then down below, this is the warp drive. And I built this kind of as a combination between a typical human-type build and an alien build. With a ring, of course, if we were to have it spin. Ooh, I'm getting dizzy. If we were to have it to spin for spin gravity, we could do that. Right now we've got the planet that's doing just fine. See if I can drop down and get a better look at what's going on here. Okay, and oh, I missed. Yeah, we'll try it one more time. Try and get in here. There we go. That is the warp drive encased in all this colorful glass. And this structure took forever to build. And that ring was not exactly easy either. Probably 3-4 weeks putting this station together. Easy. Go out here, take a little different look. Different. So you get an idea. Actually, here's a thought. Go over here. Oh yes, self-destructing slimes. They love committing suicide. I don't know if they'll let me sit here without being annoyed. There we go. Hey, look, slimes. Yes, so there it is. Got our little causeway out to the launch. You can't really see the rocket right now. We've got a communications array, and then we have this flamey purple-green that we're using for the alien portion of the warp drive. So yes, you can build let's take care of that. Ding. That was a ding. You can build spaceships, you can build space stations in Minecraft. Get over here and maybe we can take a trip. Show you how this baby moves around. Now there are controls that let you adjust the attitude and such. You can change the rotation, you can change the height in the orbit. But what we're going to do is turn on the warp drive and see if we can go someplace else. See if I can remember how to do this. It's been a while. There we go. Let's go. I believe it's... No, that's the suit workstation. Orbiter control, attitude control. There it is. Warp controller. Alright, so select a planet. There we go. Let's go to another system. So that's Wolf 12, that's Magnus Volps. I don't believe there's any way to scan in or out. Let's go to Epsilon Erie. There we are. What do we got? We got some moon types, we got some planet types. Let's go there and select. Great. And it's going to cost us 500 fuel. That is fuel derived from dilithium crystals. So let's warp. And this is what warp space looks like. And we have arrived. So there's your planet. And the way you get down to the planet is with the rocket, which we're not going to do right now. But you would hop into that rocket, you would launch, and it would drop you down to the planet, and you could go exploring. It's that easy. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get the air production working very well. It will on occasion work, but generally not so much. Dilithium crystals, you see we've already knocked out like 2.5 stacks from my flying around. This is the warp core. And this is the inside looking out. Yay. Yeah, try and head back up. Gotta hit this pretty much just right. Which is why I usually keep this door closed, because, yeah. Here we are in our arboretum overlooking our rocket and a brand new world. Well, this is the end of the DCraft-Omicron tour. We'll be doing some other videos having to do with DCraft-Omicron. Just a clarification here in post. The reason we showed you this particular mod pack is this is the mod pack that I learned advanced rocketry from, which is what is actually in DCraft-Omicron. What you saw here, you could in theory build, or much, much more. Again, final reminder, download the pack. Links will be in the description. Hit that like button, tell your friends, play the game, leave us a comment, subscribe, all the wonderful YouTube things that make the world go round, and thank you for taking time to watch this tour.